Hello, hello, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my second sketchbook tour. So yes, I'm still new to this process, bear with me. But this is the sketchbook that's basically my greatest hits of all time. The pieces that I'm pretty happy with and wanted to preserve really carefully, which is why you notice pretty much all of the sheets in this sketchbook are actually kept in clear plastic pages so that I didn't have to create any tears to store them in the 3-ring binder, and also to prevent them from getting smudged, which we all know it happens. So without further ado, let's jump in.
To start us off, we have a drawing that was inspired by the song Crimson and Clover, obviously doing red hair for the crimson and green eyes for the clover, because this is actually what I think of whenever I hear the song. And a lily painting that I did to practice watercolors. A sketch I did of myself, I want to say, yeah, I think this was when I was still in high school, so this is a fairly old drawing. Yet it still looks a lot like me. I guess I haven't changed all that much. And more of a caricature of me. I was at one time thinking about making cute little comics of my family, which I still might do at some point. So this is generally what I would be like if I was a cartoon character. And a drawing that would be up on my walls if only I had a frame big enough to fit it. I really like this quote, and I also love the way this piece turned out. Quite proud. Next, we have a portrait, a self-portrait I did my senior year of high school, and I can very clearly tell that this was my senior year of high school because that was the only time that I've had bangs since about when I was 5 years old. It was a mistake. My hair grows out too long, too quickly, and I got tired of trimming them, so I grew them all out. And then we have a classic terrible, terrible pun that my family likes to make regularly. A little chocolate bonbon treat. My name is Bon, James Bonbon. And this was originally just going to be the sketch that I did for a faux stained glass piece that I'm actually still working on. But I loved it so much that I decided to go ahead and color it in with colored pencils and keep it. And I actually have prints of this one in my store right now as well. And this is a page torn out of a book. I am so sorry, I know it's a crime, I am aware. But I did purposefully buy the book from a secondhand shop specifically to make a piece of art, actually to make multiple pieces of art. Yes, I am ashamed of myself, but no, it won't stop me from doing it again. And then this is a sketch I had of sort of an idea where it would be more like, I guess inspired by satyrs, but I wanted her to be very much the opposite of what satyrs are in Greek mythology. So she's very prim, she's very proper. In my mind, she'd be from a wealthy, to-do family. And then this guy is actually done only with a single pen and highlighters, which kind of explains why the colors are so drastic. I still actually like the way it turned out though, especially because I had very limited supplies to use at the time I did this. I'm pretty pleased with the way that the final piece came out. And this sketch I actually created for myself as a reference piece to put together the idea for a Halloween costume I did a few years back. I didn't look quite as cool as she did. I didn't commit fully, but I still really like this drawing. I don't really know what to say about this one. I feel like it's my representation of a very specific feeling, and if you've had the feeling, you get the piece, and if not, you're a very lucky person. And here we have Mulan, done in more of a comic book style inspired pose. Mulan is my absolute favorite Disney princess, so of course I had to do some art of her. And then we have another Disney princess done in comic book style. This one is Snow White holding an apple. I'm very pleased with how that hand came out because that was a weird perspective for me. This one is me doing oil pastels based on Vermeer's Girl with the Pearl, I can't talk. Based on Vermeer's Girl with the Pearl Earring. Vermeer is actually one of my top all-time favorite classical painters. I love his pieces. I did a whole study on how he made them give that glow, and I just think his work is gorgeous. Another one that's more of a personal, emotional piece, sort of having to do with feeling like you're being torn apart by the conflicts of others. If you get it, you get it. And I'm also sorry. And this one was inspired by classic circus ring masters. And I actually really like how loosely I did this sketch, considering how long ago I did it. The fact that I let myself take it so easy and let it be so loose was a really big step for me, because I used to be a bit of a control freak. Still am, if we're being honest. And just a cute little owl I did. Was not an original design of mine. This one is practicing my drawing skills and learning shading with colors. Same for this guy. Again, just practicing my shading. Shading with colors is weird, but as it turns out, rather than doing lighter or more pressure the way you do with pencils, when you're using colors, you really need to use a different color tone to do your shadings. And anyone who's played any of the Final Fantasy games, I'm sure will recognize this is a chocobo. Chocobos were my favorite part of the game. I was all about the chocobo racing. That's pretty much the only reason I played. It's pretty self-explanatory. Bugs Bunny doing a funny little dance. And Pink Panther. Da-da, 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 da-da. A ladybug where I was practicing shading. Woo, there we go. And an adorable little duckling. I think he's so stinking cute. I love ducklings, although they are very messy. They're messy critters. And a praying mantis. Fun fact, praying mantises actually strike at the speed of half of an eye blink for humans. Very, very fast. As well as a cute little seal pup. I actually saw a cute little picture where some people had a seal pup come into their house because they lived right on the coast. I'm kind of envious, if I'm being honest. I want seals. A boxer pup. I've never had a boxer personally, but members of my family have, and they are such cute little rascals. And a lizard. Again, I struggle doing back legs of four-legged critters, so I just chose not to draw any of the back of it. A bird, and I don't remember what type of bird this is, so if you know, let me know in the comments. A swan. I do actually know what that one is, thank goodness. And the blue shell of doom. The worst time I've had on Mario Kart. I got hit with multiple blue shells, felt like right one after another. It was not a good time for me. This one was in our tattoo section, so we were learning how to make tattoo designs in art class in high school. And this one for me is actually sort of my personal emblem, I guess you could say, if I had such a thing. It has to do with, you know, keeping your inner light, and sunshine is something my parents have called me, embarrassing as that is to admit as an adult, still call me. So it has a lot of meaning. This one is, again, not an original design, but me practicing kind of watercolors and getting a little bit of like a mixed depth look, so it had more life to it, I guess. And then we have Portraiture. This one is Mila Jovovich. I hope I'm saying that right. I chose her because I'm a big fan of the Resident Evil series. And then we have, I'll have to look up her name and I will, put it somewhere. But she plays a character in the Underworld series, the later films. So I thought she looked absolutely stunningly gorgeous, so I wanted to draw her. One of my favorite male actors, Johnny Depp. I actually originally kind of was introduced to him from the Chocolat film. Unlike most people, it wasn't like, Edward Scissorhands or anything like that. And then, of course, he makes an excellent pirate captain. And Angelina Jolie, although I feel like this one is a little less recognizable, her lips are so unique and easily identifiable, and I had a hard time capturing their shape. Heath Ledger, who I thought was an exceptional actor, and I was pretty sad when he passed away. And a sunflower inspired by, I believe, actually this was a famous piece. I'll have to double check and I'll include the photo if I find it. And then we have a little challenge I set for myself. I was actually trying to draw without ever using an eraser. So believe it or not, an eraser did not touch this page, and this is Ponyo. Suck it up, Buttercup, because I think I'm punny. And eventually I would actually like to make this into a t-shirt so that I can wear it. And then another little Moogle. And this one is actually colored pencil. It was the first sketch, the rough sketch of the earlier shown painting I did. As well as another sunflower. I don't know how well the colors will show up, but this is actually a very nice light purple in the background. And I'm really pleased with the colors in this one. Again, another sketch I did using only an ink pen and highlighters, so that explains the color choices, but I like the shading. Similar piece here. So this one is sort of like a mug of cocoa or some hot tea or something done for Christmas time. And then a sketch I did that sort of captures the way I feel when I'm getting ready to make art. Sort of the hope and happiness you get when you're looking at a blank canvas and realize you're going to turn it into something beautiful. More ink and highlighters. And this one, I was trying a technique I'd heard about where you can mix pastels with watercolors, but unfortunately I only had oil pastels. I didn't have chalk pastels. I should have realized, but they don't mix with watercolors because they're of course oil-based. This one is a bit of a Christmas scene, so we have a nativity set or like a little town, one of the little villages on top of the mantle, and a big log burning in the fireplace for Yuletide. And a little, I believe this was oil pastels sketch. And there you have it. Thanks for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of some of my greatest hits, and I'll see you next time. Bye.